Hello everyone, welcome to the latest podcast of Eat Your Own Dog Food, and today I've got the amazing Ricky Locke with me. Very privileged. Hi Ricky, really pleased to have you here today. How are you?
I'm very well, Sharon. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, very well. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I am a speaker, a trainer, and a professional magician that works in the wedding industry. And I help and inspire and empower other business owners to create a magical customer experience. And yeah, I'm passionate about customers and create these magical moments, these wow moments. And I guess my tagline is to create memories that will last a lifetime. So yeah.
Tell me a bit about what you've been doing for the bride and grooms that have missed their wedding, because you've over and above there. Tell me about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone knows this, but there was a huge global pandemic last year. Maybe, yeah, it's a small thing. Yeah, some big thing. And yeah, so obviously it knocked the hospitality industry completely out of the water. And obviously with couples that were due to get married last year, it was crazy. So for me last year, when I was sitting there, like, a week into lockdown thinking, right, what on earth are we going to do here? As everyone was in the hospitality industry, meetings, weddings were cancelled, events were just cancelled, postponed, left, right, center. And I had about like 50 weddings in the diary. And I thought, what am I going to do here to create this magical customer experience? Because they should have had the best day of their life. Some of them have been waiting 3 or 4 years, 5 years. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, let's just start here. Like we've discussed on my podcast about empathy, about what is it like to be in their shoes. Now, before I say what I did for them, to kind of give everyone a bit of an idea, I should have got married as well in 2020. So it was great empathy. So I could understand what it's like to plan a wedding and to go through postponing our own wedding. Now, I was in March, as I was kind of, locked down. I remember that my wedding should have been the 10th of October, 2020. And we just thought, as everybody else did, it'd be gone by the summer. A couple of weeks of lockdown will be fine. So I had to deal with a whole load of some postponements, some holding out, that kind of thing. But I just thought all of the ones that immediately postponed from like April to June, because we had it in bulks, really. I think a lot of people thought by summer. I thought, what am I going to do here to make this wonderful experience? And I decided at first to reach out to every single one of my couples that had booked with me, BCC, so I didn't break any GDPR or anything like that. And I just reached out to them first to say, hey, I'm just reaching out to you as a human being here to say hello. I hope you're okay. Appreciate that this is quite a difficult and strange time. I just hope you're okay. Hope your jobs are okay, your business is okay, and that you're safe, And that was really wonderful. So a lot of people got back in touch with me straight away to say, oh, Ricky, thank you so much for reaching out to us. Yeah, we're okay. So that was really nice. Then the second thing I thought, well, okay, I reached out to them. Now what can I do to make this a bit more special, more magical? And the first thing I started to do was I started to kind of generate these online shows. So as we started to go into lockdown, I couldn't perform live in person. So I started to create shows. So I thought, well, okay, what I'll do first is for any couple that should have had their wedding day, I'd record just a quick little video, a private video that's on YouTube. It was unlisted, so no one else can find it. Shared the link to them, just me at the camera saying, hey, hey, Tamsin and John, I hope you're both well. I appreciate today would have been the best day of your life. So I just wanted to send you my wishes. I hope that you still make a day out of it and you do your would-be wedding day and, enjoy it and speak to you soon. So I thought, okay, well, that's quite cool. That's quite a nice little thing to do. And then I started to upgrade that a bit. And I gave every single one of my couples that should have got married with me a free ticket to come see my public shows, which I'm glad they didn't because they were crap at first, because it was like everyone, we were all doing Zoom stuff and going, what do you do? But then I thought, okay, well, what can I do to make this a little bit more special and make it even better for them? So I designed and created, as you know, a branded card, which was a photo of me performing. It's what I use across all of my brand. And on the back, it just says, the best things in life are worth waiting for. And I had these 2 chocolate bars made that had my face on it. And I'm not a narcissist for anyone listening or watching this. It's just my brand with my face on it. And it was on the front of me bending a fork. And then on the back was a lot of white space where I could write a handwritten message. And I would just write a lovely message saying, happy would-be wedding day. And then the other chocolate bar would be, see you in 2022 or see you at the wedding. And I sent that to every single one of my couples that should have got married, except for the first 2 that I had to just do the quick video link, sent to every single one of my couples to let them know that I'm thinking of them. I did this purely with the intention to give. It wasn't the intention to receive. In hindsight, as I shared with you, on my branded card, there is a little Instagram logo, which did mean that some people then put it out on social media saying, look at our magician, he's the best, he reached out to us. In hindsight, I wouldn't put that on there, because I thought, I'm not doing this purely to get the attention on Instagram. I mean, it was all great because I got bookings from it, but it wasn't that intention. It was purely to give to them, to show them that I really care about them. This is the best day of your life. And I'm honored and thrilled that you want me to be a part of that. You know, the day you're always going to remember. So from me to you, even though it's a cost to my business, I just want to think of you. And I know today would have been that great day. Yeah. And every single one of them just reached out and said, oh my God, Ricky, you've made us cry with, you know, goodness, you know, like you're the only one of our family that's reached out to us today that, you know, made us feel special. You know, some of our family forgot that today was going to be the big day. And to show that you really cared means a lot to us. And we value you so much, you know, which in turn led to quite a wonderful couple of things where, as we know in hindsight now, the pandemic lasted a lot longer than we thought. Yeah. So I dealt with couples that are on their second, third, fourth, fifth postponements. And the couples that I initially did that to, when they got to like their third postponement, because most people just postponed it 6 months because we thought it'd be all right. When they got round to postponing again, they all got in touch with me to say, Ricky, because of how you made us feel and how special and magical that was, we've got to postpone again, as you know, because it can't go ahead. But we want to know what's your availability, because if you can't do it, we don't want to move that date, you know. I was like, oh my God, thank you. So I was like, wow, that's a lot of pressure. But they said, because of how special you've made us feel, we want to make sure you're the first supplier that we book on the new date. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that at all. That's such a wonderful thing, you know. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I just wanted to create this wonderful experience for people, to let them know that today would have been the best day of your life. And although I'm not there in person to create that magic for you, I wanted to give you a little bit of magic in the post. You know, 2 little chocolate bars, a little card to let me know that I'm thinking about you. And yeah, that was the magical experience that I created for my couples last year. Yeah,
I absolutely love that. We often talk, don't we, in CX about the small things, the kind of the personalized handwritten things that we can do that just touch people. Yeah. Like, you really see the power of that. And as you say, those couples came back to you and went, Ricky, I need to check with you. And on my wedding day, way back, something like an entertainer would have been quite near the end of the list.
Yeah.
For them to have put you at the start of the list just really shows the power of that human connection that you were able to make. And I'm sure that didn't cost your business much to do, or take you time to do. It's going to the post and ordering some chocolate and taking a good selfie.
That's it.
And playing it, but it didn't cost you mega bucks to do that, did it?
No. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, little thing. And we mentioned it before, doesn't it? You know, these little things make such a huge impact. You know, the Google reviews that are now coming into those weddings that are now finally happened, every single review has said, you know, all the little gifts and all the little check-ins that Ricky did during the pandemic is so special. You know, we really cannot recommend him, you know, highly enough. But I think that's the thing, that the experience here, which is quite funny, is that yes, everybody tightened their belts, everybody looked after themselves, because, you know, it was a pandemic, everyone was panicking. I kept on spending money, you know, I didn't have to, but I did it just because it was just a little, it only cost like probably £5 in total for everything. Yeah. But the interesting thing was that I was going through a journey myself. Now, I wasn't expecting anything at all, because I appreciate tough times for everyone. Only one of my suppliers actually reached out to me on the day. And that was, I mean, we bought some cakes for her because we wanted to still have like a would-be wedding day in our conservatory. And she reached out to us. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. But no other supplier did. The venue where you pay thousands and thousands of pounds, you know, didn't reach out. And I thought, why is that? Why is it that I've recognized that I could do that, but no other supplier did? And that's what's led me on to this new journey of this inspiring other business owners to create a magical experience. But I just thought, isn't that weird, Sharon, that, you know, I can see this as just, you know, just me being natural, but why can't others do that? Yeah. Path of discovery.
It does. It just builds that human connection, doesn't it? In a time when human connection it becomes rare. the only some people just completely locked away and all they had was Zoom or their phone, or not being able to have any human connection. So something through the post like that, I can imagine why some of your customers have said, that made them cry, because it's so thoughtful. I had a similar thing at the start of the pandemic. I was speaking to a recruiter for a couple of different reasons. And I remember, so Tom North, a shout out to Tom North and his recruitment agency. He did exactly the same as you. He just sent me a text message saying, I can't give you any update on the progress that we're making at the moment for working for you. But I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I just wanted to check in and say I was thinking of you and I hope you're all okay and I'll be in touch soon. And that's all I wanted to say, Sharon, but I'm thinking of you. And I just thought, I've met this guy once. Like you, I will never forget that. And I'm rubbish at remembering names, but instantly I'm there, Tom North. And if anyone says to me, can you recommend a recruiter? That's who I'm going to recommend, even though we never ended up doing business together, as it turned out, because of the pandemic. But actually, the power of that, and that is CX really, is that human-centered connection and how you make it really strong, easy, seamless, delight, consistent. It's that, just, you can't get away from that. So I love that, Ricky. I mean, I can see why you've got bookings for years to come. That just shows the power of it. That's a real success story that you're just saying human-centered and CX works. Look at my business, it works. So I love that. It's brilliant.
Can I add two things as well, because you've got my brain now fired up now. So there's two things here. So one, there's a benefit from this, which I've experienced, is I think because of the experience that you create with someone, I think people are then more wanting to buy more from you. So I've experienced this, and I didn't think about this really. It's quite clever. It wasn't a tactic at all for this reason, just inspired by it now. But I've had about 4 probably of my couples, although weddings have started from May again. I've had 4 couples that have said, Ricky, we've got you for 2 hours in the day, but we want you for the whole day now. And so I have 3 packages. I have a 2-hour package for like drink reception, a 3-hour at the end of the wedding breakfast, and then a full day master of ceremonies, the full bells and whistles, compare, icebreaker, presiding over, introducing the couple. And I was like, wow. And that's just because, I think it's not just because of the chocolates I sent, but because the human connection that I created has made them think, you know what, you are more valuable to us than we realized, and we would like to include you. So please, listeners, do not go do this for the intention to receive more business. Oh, I'm going to send some chocolates, I can get more business. That was just such a lovely bonus, But I think the real bonus there is for me that I've learned that these are valuable people and I want to be friends with them for the rest of my life, The second thing was on that same subject, when you just said about when you're going to recommend Tom North, I think it was, you said the name. Our cake lady, Imogen, so shout out to Sugar Buttons, the cake lady from Norwich. We love her. Never met her. Well, we have now, but as you know, Sharon, we're expecting a child, expecting our first baby girl in November. We're really excited. And so we follow a lot of our suppliers on Instagram. And the hack here of social media is be social. That's the idea. Be social, have conversations with people. And Imogen from Sugar Buns, we love her. She's actually been on TV. She was on like Kirsty's homemade cakes thing. She won the competition on TV. She's absolute legend, real lovely person. We'd never met her in life at all, never met her in person at all. But when we announced it on social media that we were having a baby, so bearing in mind, I should say that we've booked her for our cake lady. And I'll tell you about something else in a second of that. So we've never met her in life, but Danielle really liked her. So we booked her. But the day that we announced on social media that we were expecting a baby, 2 days later, we received a little gift in the post. It was a box we'd bought from her previously and told her so many times we love her brownies. We kept buying from her in pandemic. And she sent us a little box, opened it up. There's a branded card from Sugar Buttons. And on the back, it said, to Danielle and Ricky, congratulations on your big baby news. Here's a little treat from me. And it was 2 brownies. And we were like, wow. And now, it kind of like brings tears and like chills when you talk about it. Now that any one of my couples who say to me, Ricky, we need a wedding cake supplier. Who do you recommend? I turn around and say to him, you don't need a wedding cake supplier. You need the wedding cake supplier. And her name is Imogen. And I just thought, Wow. Like you just said, I'm never, ever going to forget that. You know, she made us feel so special in a time when we couldn't really see family. We wanted to announce it, you know, and have our family round. But the fact that she spent just a little bit of time to post something to us, to make some brownies for us, that's wonderful. And we've even said to her now that after she did that, we said, well, we're going to do classic millennial here. Sorry, Sharon. We did a gender reveal like all millennials do at the minute. We did a gender reveal and we said, well, let's make this special. And should we get a cake? We'll have a gender reveal cake. So you do this thing where you slice it inside.
Yeah.
And we contacted Imogen and she said she'd never done one before, but she'd love to do it. Okay. And we went to Norwich for like 2.5 hour drive and met her. And we were having selfies with her and we gave her a hug and we said, we love you. And we said that when you come and drop off the cake at the wedding, can you just stick around for a little bit? We want to see you. Oh. I was like, wow, you imagine that like 2 years ago when we first booked her, would never have even thought that. But the fact that she reached out to us on our wedding, the fact that she sent us a gift on our, when we announced, that's just amazing. And that's such a human, powerful connection making us, which is going to be for years and years to come. And I don't see any other supplier do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that is when I see customer experience initiatives being cut and CX teams being let go, that's why that makes me slightly angry because, because I just think there's pure stupidity there. There's somebody who hasn't understood that actually they've thought is, well, CX is a luxury. But actually, as you have clearly just shown with your own business, you do a small token and you look after your customers and you connect with them. It doesn't have to cost money, and it pays back. You see, I mean, you have clearly seen the return on investment from your £5 per couple that's come back in. I mean, I'm sure your full day packages cost a lot more than £5.
Yeah.
That how there is a clear return on investment. And when you look at business cases and you look at going and presenting to the exec team of we need to do this for customers, this is why it makes me so cross when those priorities fall down, because they're like, oh yeah, I know, but the more important thing is to do this big sales initiative. Yeah, I could talk forever on this subject.
No, it's great. It's funny because like you said there with Tom, a lot of these couples have never met me. Never met me. They booked me online in COVID, but they feel so connected to me, and they've never even met me in life, but just because of how we made them feel, like you did with Tom,
Yeah, exactly. People buy from people. And even if you've got thousands and thousands of customers, I mean, it's easier when we're like us, when you can physically go and touch a person and think about it, not in a creepy way. But all that, when you've got thousands of customers, you've got to really up your game and think about how you're going to do that. So you've got to think more about your consistency and making sure everything's as seamless as possible in your training, so you give amazing customer experience through really empathetic and empowered people. That's slightly different. You've got to be more intentional about it, but all of that stuff comes straight back down to humans and humans. And sometimes we forget, don't we? We're so busy going tech, we can do this, we can automate that, and look at that, digital transformation. But actually at the end it is a transaction, which is actually a connection between two humans. So I love those stories, Ricky. You're really showing success there and how that works. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I do think it's ironic, isn't it, in a world where we have become less socially interactive because of the pandemic, of being socially distant, I think that we can be more connected, in that world. And I proved that last year. Never met people, but I can still create a powerful connection without being in the same room with them. I think sometimes that we maybe fix our minds on the process of, I can't do that. Well, actually, we can still be and create even more powerful connections like this. Me and you, Sharon, we've never met in real life, but I know from the conversation we had this morning, and even now, I feel like I know you, as if I've known you for years, So interesting, I think.
Yeah, I wondered if you'd seen very recently there was a video going round about a blind lady who went to a restaurant, and the restaurant team bought her out a plate that said "Happy Birthday," but they put in Braille underneath in melted chocolate. Now, for her, she obviously was not expecting this, and someone guides her hands and she feels it, and you can see her, like when she recognizes that this is Braille, and she's like, okay, it's Braille, what does it say? It says happy birthday. And just the pure joy and emotion that comes onto her face from that pure, like, and I can, that's what you do, isn't it? All about those magical experiences that you try and provide. Tell me how you're trying to connect that kind of the magic moments with customer experience and weddings. Talk to me a bit about how you do that.
Sure. So I have an acronym that I use that I teach in my course and also in my keynotes, which is the word magic, and each letter stands for another word. So the M is about memorable. So what can you do to create a powerful, lasting impression? As the 4-minute rule by Steve McDermott says, it takes between 7 to 17 seconds to create a first impression. So are we just answering the phone like plumbers do, as we know, Sharon? Like, hello, yeah, is that Paul? Hello, yeah, Paul speaking. Paul the plumber, yeah, right. I've got a problem with my boiler. Right, okay. It's like, what? Hang on. So what we do to make that really memorable. So I use, like I've shared with you before, like Bonjour, so and Bon video emails to say hello to people. Great to hear you're getting married. Fantastic. Can't wait to talk to you. I'm at a wedding today, but I'll see you tomorrow. A is amaze, so a bit like a magician, a bit like what Imogen was doing. You don't have to be a magician to create magic, but what can you do to amaze your customer that makes them go, wow, that's bloody good. I didn't realize that. Wow. Imogen sending those lovely little things in the post to us makes us go, wow, she'd take a time out of the day to make us feel special. G stands for giving value. So how do you go that extra mile? I know it's a cliche term used, but what can you do to really go that extra mile? I is about the intention. So everything that you do has to have that intention to connect people at the heart of everything that you do. And then C is just that connection as a human level. What do you do? So anything you do, whether it's your customers internally, so for your team as a customer, are you being memorable? Are you amazing? Are you giving value? Having intentions that are great? And are you connecting? So to give you an idea of this, I send voice memos to a lot of people. I do this on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'll send it to my couple. Hey, it's Ricky. I hope you're well. I just wanted to check in, just saying, I hope you're well. I know we haven't spoken in a while. I know your wedding is coming up in 6 months' time. Can't wait to see you soon. Take care. And all those little nuances and little things like that of doing things that are different really stands out. So it's memorable. Oh my God, Ricky's just sent me a voice memo and he said my name. Oh my God, I've done this before with, by the way, when I say this, I'm not like famous at all. It sounds terrible. But a fan of the podcast just followed me on Instagram. So I just went back, looked on their profile, followed them back and sent a voice memo. Said, hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate you getting in touch. And thank you so much. And I went, oh my God, Ricky, you got in touch to say hello. I was like, yeah, that's just normal, That's something I do. So there's something as well that I'm toying with this idea of about wonderful experiences. So I've got this whole stack of cards, like blank cards with hello on the front. They're just from Amazon, nice designs, and they're blank inside. And I'm toying with this idea of, so I send these out to like friends and family, just saying, hey, you're smashing it. I just wanted to send a little card in the post to say, I think you're great. Just keep doing what you're doing, just to kind of build people up and make them feel special. But I thought about, wouldn't it be really cool if I could do that and leave them around town, walk around Bourne and just leave like maybe on a bench and then get someone to open up and it's like an affirmation or something to make them feel special. I mean, I wouldn't want to, I don't want to be the person like, spying on them from the bush to see if they actually open it up. But I thought, wouldn't that be really cool if you could create magic and make people feel special? So I'm going to try it as a bit of an experiment, I think, just to see, I'll probably get told off for littering or something, who is this bloody guy? Keep leaving people things around there. But I thought that's the kind of thing that I try to do. I want to make people feel special. I don't want to do the generic phone call, email, because it's just bland and it's boring. What can I do to make things a bit more different, more special? A voice memo, a video email, making just people feel great. And that's the kind of magic that I want to create. Like a magic trick, it creates that sense of wonder, like, how did you do that? That's amazing. And it gets people thinking about it after a while, and they try to recall that thing, and oh, they did that and they did that, and they just can't, fathom it out. And I think that we could try and create that in all of our business as well, create that sense of wonder that they're buying something from you, even if it's just a generic product like toothpaste or something like that. How can you still make that a memorable experience? I know we shared before about my good friend Martin in Tesco's. I will relentlessly always go to Martin, no matter what, even if it's a huge queue. I'll go to Martin because he makes us feel special. He makes us happy. gives it, makes us have a laugh. And that's that memorable experience that I want to create with other people. I think that in a nutshell, that's kind of the thing I'm trying to do. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So Ricky, I've got a quick question for you. So we talked a lot about delight, avoiding pain, thinking about the customer's entire end-to-end journey and the impact of that. Now, I keep hearing people saying that you should leave some pain in the customer journey. I can't say that I can completely agree with that. And I just wonder what your take was on that.
Yeah, it's a really great question. So I'm like you, I don't agree with it. I think that, as we were discussing before, maybe a bit of friction, because friction feels smaller than pain. Because I think if you break it down to the point of, why would you want to cause pain to somebody? That's quite evil, isn't it? Like I think about like villains creating pain. But if you was to create pain, is that going to not then cause a memorable experience for the wrong reason? So, and why would you want to have pain in your journey? I mean, like if I think about in my business, if there's something for pain, surely people are going to drop off. Why would they want that? Oh, I went to this magician and his journey was terrible. He didn't give me what I needed. It wasn't clear. I couldn't find what I wanted. And it's just painful. They're going to want to go for someone else. Yeah. I appreciate that there could be points where there's like crossroads, maybe a bit of friction of where to go, but not pain. I think that's probably making it, I don't know. What do you think? Yeah.
I've been throwing this around in my brain for quite some time because some quite senior, amazing people in CX have said, actually, we should leave a little bit of pain in so we can touch a customer and recover them in an amazing way. So, that kind of thing about they just go like this if everything's great and they stay with us. But if we have a dip, and they then go like this if we recover them right. Personally, I think that is a real risk because we have, we live in a world where there's lots of unexpected things that can happen, and unexpected friction and pain can happen without us wanting it to, even if we've gone through and done everything we can to make it seamless. So why would you leave something in and have the risk of two or more things happening to a customer and completely just obliterating that customer experience? But I was thinking about the cybersecurity certification that we have to do. Now, with that, I do not want that to be smooth sailing, because I want to come out of the end of the certification thinking we really had to work for that. I know that we've had to go through some real pain of looking into all of the laptops, the iPads, the phones, and finding some issues to fix them so that I know that everything is good and we've got rid of every risk as much as we can so that we are ready for whatever the world throws at us. So, and that's the only scenario that I can think of where I want a little bit of pain so I feel like I've earned it. But that's the only start. And I wondered if you'd thought of anything else. I know I've just thrown this.
I think you're right. Yeah. So it could be business dependent, couldn't it? So the different business that you have and the different style that you have. I think into my business, I'm trying to create magical memories for couples in the wedding industry. They want this magical day. They want this best day of their life. So if I'm going to chuck some pain in there, surely I've got to then work really hard after that pain point to then bring them back up, as you said, to then do that. Why would I want to do that? I want to create a path of least resistance for them. So from the start to the end. But I can see why it could have benefits in certain businesses, like you said there, with that is for different types of businesses, maybe. But in my business, certainly, I wouldn't think that, would I want some pain in there? And I think when we've discussed before, empathy, if I was in the shoes and came across a bit of pain, which was like, that doesn't feel right, I'm probably going to create an impression, especially if I haven't met that person yet as well. And it's my first impression. That's going to be a lasting impression. So that's probably my thoughts on it.
I think it's risky. I'm just interested because I've seen it come up quite a few times. It's obviously a little bit controversial. I get the bit around, if you're smooth sailing, great, but actually it's like Wi-Fi, isn't it? Wi-Fi, as soon as it drops, major pain. It's like oxygen. We need Wi-Fi now. We need it, and we expect it to be constant. We expect not even to have to think about it. You turn on our laptop, we start chatting, it works. If we're going to create something that is risky and it's just going to keep dropping, we're not going to put up with that. We're not going to like go through the effort of making them then wow us to turn us around. We're just going to go, this is rubbish, I'm going to go elsewhere. So it's something for me that I'm just trying to work through and find, and different things where actually pain would be, or friction would be useful and part of so I'm going to put it on you.
I like it. I think it's a great debate. I think it comes down to brand loyalty though, again, doesn't it? That whole trust piece again, because like when we've shared before, you know, the data is that you got on average, it used to be up to 10 people would tell people about a bad experience. On good, it's like 1 or 2. So, you know, people in this day and age as well, social media, would you want people to go through that pain? Because they're going to expose you on social media.
Won't they? This has happened straight away before you've had time to recover them.
Yeah.
How are you gonna, you know, you really got to train your recovery people, which costs money to the business. I'm struggling with this concept. I obviously need to do a bit more thinking about it. So I guess to the people watching this, open invitation. If you've got a different view on this, then please do come and chat to myself or Ricky about it. And we welcome you to come on a podcast jointly with us or individually and debate this subject, because it's an interesting concept. For me personally, I think any pain in a customer experience should be obliterated. Just get rid. And anything else that you can find that could happen, get rid, because there's so much that can happen that you have zero control over, that I don't understand why you would even risk it. But equally, I'm open to understanding a bit more about it.
Well, I think, Sharon, look at some of the best companies in the world that create amazing experiences. Do they have pain points in their journeys?
If you think how easy it is to buy something off Amazon, like my colleague always says, it's too easy. You literally, I could, without you even knowing, I could order something right this second. Done. It's so easy. And I often do that in the middle of the night. I wake up and I think, what have I ordered? Because it's been that easy. That's just
there's a further argument to this, maybe another debate on this as well, probably think about the future of customer experience in the business. So for example, Amazon, absolutely, I'm a massive fan of that. To get the convenience of it tomorrow, brilliant, great. You know, like we just experienced, my cable breaks, I'm going to need a new one tomorrow. I know it's going to be here. Are we setting a bar now? I mean, well, there's two thoughts here. The first thought is that, when did it become the law? Amazon drivers just knock and leave it on the front door. That's it. And that, now we're out of kind of COVID now, but still Amazon drivers will ring the doorbell and just leave it there. I've come home. I was like, when did that become the norm? You know, like I'm worried about so many parcels getting nicked. I mean, when I go on holiday, if Danielle orders anything, it's not going to be there when I get back, you know. But secondly, the thing I'm thinking about is the debate in the future is a bit like me as a millennial. I can get everything now. So years ago, when I was a kid, if I wanted to watch the whole series of 24, maybe I'd have to wait every single week for the new episode.
Adverts in between.
Oh, say again, sorry.
Adverts in between.
Adverts in between. You know, it'll be a whole hour. But now I can binge watch the whole series instantly. So like Amazon, convenience, next day delivery, are we setting a bar that's going to make experience really difficult? Because I can get everything now, you know, tomorrow. Like, where does that human connection still get involved? But I mean, I'm still a big fan of human connection. I'd much rather, although I still buy from Amazon, it's because of that convenience. So am I now prioritizing convenience over the experience?
This comes back to when you go into a supermarket, doesn't it? And you can either go to a person who's there on the till, who looks hopefully, or you can go to the unexpected item in the baggage area, which is absolutely great. And I think we need all options, don't we? We need to have those different options, because some days I don't want to go and wait and speak to somebody. I just need to just get through. I've got children with me or whatever. But I actively avoid Morrison's because of their checkout experience. Because I like going into Sainsbury's. I like their handheld scanner, and I like when their drivers, you just mentioned the driver, when they deliver, they make an effort to talk to me, and I love that. I love that. My husband is not so much. He's just like, just give me the goods. But for me, I really, there's a guy who delivered to us yesterday. I wish I knew his name, because he's just even my son said to me, he's a lovely man, isn't he? About 3 minutes, we literally just grab the stuff out because we feel bad holding him up.
Yeah.
But he's lovely. And as you say, those human interactions, however convenient we make it, we still have to put those in, that person. I'm interested to see when you think about chatbots and stuff like that. Slight tangent. I spoke to someone the other day who works in a contact center, and they do all the chat. And they said the problem that they have now is people asking them if they are real and expect.
I heard this on one of your podcasts recently. Yes. Yeah.
I think that just is a real sign of the times, isn't it? That you have to prove that you are a real person, because chatbots are that good.
You know what, Sharon? Yeah, and that's why I like doing my video emails, because I'm terrible at writing anyway, but I'd much rather show them, hey, this is me. So I actually, do you know what? I think there's interesting now. I might be contradicting myself here, Sharon, because I think I've got a pain point now in my journey. Whoops. But I do this. So there's certain customers. We talk about the ideal client and ideal customer, right? But I think as long as you're providing value, you can provide value to anyone, right? But I've realized now, I think I've got a pain point. So one of the things that I like to do is to have a conversation with someone, because I can hear their problems, I can listen, I can sell the sizzle, not the steak. I can sell what I'm going to give them. I'm going to sell this great atmosphere, this great experience, this wonderful atmosphere where you can go off and have your photos and all your guests having a great time talking about your day. Oh, what do? I just do magic tricks, I can sell the sizzle. That's great. That's what I want. But I probably cause a lot of pain for people that aren't confident to want to have a conversation because of lockdown, because the way the world is more probably introverted now. People don't want to have a conversation. So I probably do lose actually quite a lot of people because they don't want to. So I'm the kind of person that I have an ideal price roughly as a rough guide, but I don't send out like instant quotes to people to say, these are my packages, because someone might be getting married in Spain. So my £500 package is not going to be enough because I need to get a flight as well. So I actually automate and tell them, hey, thank you so much for getting in touch. I'm going to, get in touch. I'd love to have a phone call. I find it best to get on the phone, have a quick chat. If there's a great time, let me know. I also will then send my video email, say, hey, I'm just out of the wedding. I'll see you soon. But I don't sometimes get through to that customer because I think they'd rather just have, can you just tell me your prices, Rick? So I've realized now I'm probably contradicting myself that I have a bit of pain, but I think that's because I want to really listen to the customer. I still want that human connection. I don't want to just send out generic emails. This is my prices. I want to meet them. I want to feel part of the day. I want them to book Ricky, not the magic or the magician. I want them to book me for me. So I'm gonna have to think about that now, Sharon.
I think pricing, I was thinking about this in the middle of the night the other night. Pricing is definitely it's a moment where you could go either way. And I often, because I'm such a night owl, I will go and have a look and I want to buy instantaneously, exactly as we've just said. So if I can find somewhere that's got a quote, it's got a price list, and I can pay online, preferably with PayPal, because I can never find my blooming purse. I want to be able to do it straight away. So if a company does not have their prices up front, I tend to go, oh, right.
Look somewhere else. I've
got to wait till daylight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Forget that. I'm going to go online and and find somewhere that does. So I've got my prices on my website for that exact reason. But as you say, that then takes out the opportunity for me to really understand exactly what it is they need, because they might just go, no. It's a debate here, isn't it? I've only done it because I feel that it's for me, I want to know in advance ballpark figures, so I put it on there. But actually I then am potentially losing customers in the opposite way to you, where actually they want to chat about it and talk about it, and they want something slightly different, and they see prices and think that I'm quite rigid with them, which I'm not. So
it's interesting, isn't it? It's because it's that service so I provide a service, but you've got the classic price and experience customers. The price customers are the ones that email just 2 line or 1 sentence. You get it on Facebook. This is terrible. What's your prices? Whoa, hang on a minute. Where are you getting married? Are you getting married today, tomorrow, Spain, Scotland, wherever it is? And then you've got the experienced customers that just like, hey, Ricky, been following your work for years on Instagram. We love your work. We're so hoping that you're free for our date next year. No word of pricing, but they want you for you, and I guess, yeah, sometimes you have to filter it out, don't you? Sometimes it's really annoying, like, hang on a minute, like what? But people are like that, aren't they? And I think there's an interesting thing here about thinking about that empathy thing, about what do my customers want. And also there's a conversation, I was chatting to my good friend Kat Hayes the other day about this, about, as I've been sharing on this call, I love sending video emails to people. I send voice memos to people. But actually, when is the time that I've actually asked my customers, how do you like to be contacted? I don't do that at the start. So I think what I'm going to do is add that in a field on my booking form, or even in the Zoom consultation. Hey, I like to keep in contact, but what's the best way for me to contact you? Because she's quite blunt, my friend Kat, but she said, yeah, Ricky, I hate it when you ring me, actually, because I'd rather not have a phone call with you. But a voice note's fine, Ricky. I went, oh, all right, okay. I thought, no, I didn't really, but I thought, well, that's interesting, isn't it? So if I put that into my business, I'm doing all these things because I like doing it, but maybe my customers don't. So when did I actually take my hat off and thought, put the shoes back on? So yeah, God, my mind is spinning today, Sharon. This is amazing.
It brings us back to eating your own dog food, doesn't it? Of kind of going, right, what is it that my customers want? And every customer's different. How do I watch and observe and listen and put myself in their shoes and see what it is that they want and need, and how that changes? Because from one day to the next, like Morrison's, I'll walk in and one day I'll be like, right, okay, I'll go and speak to the person there who takes ages, and I tell them it's a opened bit of meat and they just wrap it up and give it to me, and I'm like, what? Compared to going through the annoying checkout. We want different things every day. So that whole piece around going, okay, I need to keep knowing what my experience is, keep understanding what different types of customers want, and try to adjust. No, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on today, Ricky. That was absolute pleasure to listen and talk to you. As you say, we could talk for hours, but I think people would get bored by the end. I wouldn't, because this is brilliant, but I think other people might. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Always great to talk to you, and congratulations on the baby, everything, the new brow.
Thank you. Yes.
The success of your business, which you're really just showing that CX at the center of what you do just really makes a difference to the success that you have, because you're booked up for years. So well done. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep on being you and being brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.